That would be my
yeah.
That's my question on my position. But then even so, let's say reparations is actually on the table. I want it to be, but anyhow, if reparations is on the table, if you look at the legislation that has already been written, whether you like the legislation or not, the way the legislation has been written, it's baked into the legislation how they define the possible recipients. They're not defining the recipients in a way where a second generation African born Nigerian American can get in the line. They're not defining it in the legislation so that somebody that just got off the boat from Jamaica can get in the line. The way the legislation is written, it's baked in that you have to have been here for X number of years. You have to have, like, you got to have at least one parent that was here for longer than that. Like, if you wasn't here before 1960, you can't even ask the question. You can't even fill out the application. So you don't need the label even then. But like in my mind, people don't know this. Why? Because they only got into this conversation off of Tariq Nasheed, and he ain't educating nobody. He's telling you that if you don't create this label, then the Jamaican is going to get your check. And that's a falsehood. So again, it's like, I don't know how to care about a second-born Nigerian American. If they black, and they want to hang out and holler, and we want to kick it, and we want to go do this, that, and the other.
But nonetheless, this person says here, y'all are wrong. It's nothing more than a title for our lineage. Again, that's elementary argument. Again, I can prove to you, I've already shown that it's more than a lineage. A lineage does not have a lineage. There's no such thing as an identity without, in general, without some identity, and all identities have some social, political ideology or framing or some reason why it was created. And if you didn't repeat everything Tariq Nasheed said or other people, you know what I mean, then I would say, okay, if somehow even there's no label that is absent of some political framing or understanding, or even the reason why it was developed in the first place is evidence that is more than the lineage. And then, in fact, to say that, see, it's, even when you say African or African's not a lineage, it can be a lineage. You know what I mean? It may not be. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
African is absolutely can be a lineage, especially for those of us who find ourselves in the West that are an amalgamation of so many various aspects of Africa, which we can support scientifically.
Shabazz, break it down with the proper perspective. So much controversy and a lot of deception. You don't know who's coming through with the light and reflection, and whose mouth is mumbling trick knowledge deceptive. Shabazz, break it down with the proper perspective. So